This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Joining us today is Richard Conroy, the chairman of Conroy Gold, following news from the joint venture drilling at Clontibret. So hello, Richard. Welcome back onto Stockbox. How are you?
I'm very well indeed, thank you. And of course, delighted at seeing the progress being initiated, the first holes drilled. So it's a very nice feeling.
Indeed, the progress initiated. Of course, I was looking back and we spoke the last time about the end of March. It was just after the joint venture was signed, and we spoke about this 3,000 metre drilling plan about to kick off in early April to get the project to that construction ready status. So we're here in June, and yes, 2 holes have been drilled. Was this the plan, or have there been some delays? Because it seems like 2 holes in this amount of time is maybe not rapid progress.
Oh, I think it's great to have the progress. There aren't many rigs available, as it so happens, but we've got the drilling started. We have a second rig now coming on at this stage, so the actual speed will be increasing. The next 2 holes should be completed in a much shorter interval of time, and that will take us halfway through the initial program. There'll be a further 4 holes then to be completed on it. And what's really, I suppose, tremendous is to see the actual joint venture in practice or working. And this is certainly happening much more smoothly and much more rapidly than one might have imagined, particularly with the fact that, of course, our good colleagues are out in Turkey. One still has the problems of COVID, problems of travel and so on. But in actual fact, things are getting underway. And of course, this initial program merges into a much, much larger program as we move towards our objectives of bringing in 1 or more mines in the Longford Down Massif. So it's really nice to see things actually happening. It's fine to have signed agreements and all the rest of it, but to see the work actually started on the ground, the first holes finished, another 2 holes starting, and that in turn going to multiply is a very pleasant sensation. And of course, from a practical point of view, is very important. And the speed of drilling, the amount of drilling will, of course, be very considerable indeed. In this initial phase alone, our colleagues are committed to spending over 4.5 million, and most of that will be going into drilling.
Okay, so it's happening as planned. There's no concerns about delays that I was picking up from the chat board.
If anything, things are going, when you allow for bringing in a new joint venture partner, getting things going, deciding on what's happening, if anything, they're going not so simply according to plan, but if anything, a little bit faster than one might have hoped.
Okay. Okay, and accelerating, as you say, with the bringing on steam of the second drill rig.
Constant acceleration from now on.
Okay, well, let's take a look at these first 2 drill hole results then. The first one, which was down to 285 meters, and the RNS said that intersections included a number of new mineralization zones and mineralization in an area where there was no surface gold in soil geochemical signatures. So what are these results telling your geologists then?
Well, what they're telling us, geologists, is really very exciting. As you probably know or may remember, where we see gold in soil values of 10 parts per billion or above, we can be very sure that when the geologists put in a drill hole, they'll intersect gold in bedrock with gold in the bedrock. What's particularly exciting about this is that in yet another area where there isn't even on the surface an indication of gold, we are intersecting gold lodes. So this is very positive indications for the actual size of the Clontibret deposit and for the overall prospectivity of the entire area. So we're very pleased to see that, and that's why it's so important.
Okay, and the second hole then, that was down to 179 metres. Again, mineralisation was intersected at a number of levels relating to central lodes of the ore body and has thus extended these lodes. So again, what's this telling your geologists about the deposit there?
Well, that's really filling in there. It's showing that the areas not previously drilled, that in actual fact the gold lodes are to be found in these areas as well. It's also, incidentally, confirming the extension of the stockwork gold.
Okay, so you said earlier that you're about to start another 2 holes. So when they're complete, that will put you, as you say, 50% through this 8-hole joint venture drilling program. Are you able to set out a bit of a timeline for when these drills will be working, when they'll be finished, when we can expect further results, or perhaps as well a significant point in time, let's say, that you're on the joint venture are looking forward to during this program?
We would hope that over the summer things will accelerate, that this initial drill program of 3,000 meters, that it should be completed probably in mid-September, perhaps a little earlier if we can get sufficient rigs working. Then we're already considering follow-up programs so that there'll be an acceleration in the actual work, the drilling. There's going to be a lot of drilling. At the moment, as I mentioned, we have 2 rigs working, but I'm quite sure before very long we'll have 3 and probably 4 rigs working, and possibly even more. So it's a pretty big program. Of course, it's a very big project. We're looking at serious amounts of gold in both the Clontiburit area and in the Clay Lake area. As you know, we already have 500,000 ounces in the Clontiburit area, and the geologists are looking to increase that several times over in due course. We won't need all of that, of course, to put in the first planning application for a mine, but it's still very encouraging.
Okay, so you're not messing about then. If you plan to get even more drill rigs going, you're going to have to keep them busy. So it looks like lots of work coming ahead. So towards the end of the summer, we hit the new business year, let's say in September, when hopefully this is all completed. What are you looking forward to? Hopefully you can keep the market informed throughout the, let's say, the lull of the summer.
The market informed. Obviously, it's extremely disappointing that as yet, I don't think it has been fully taken on board, the significance and the size and the potential and the effort and the tremendous situation that we're in. And we're just recently back from PDAC, the big mining conference in Toronto, and people were commenting on what an excellent deal it was, but even more important than that, that this could be a very big project indeed. I don't think the market here has taken that on board yet. No doubt it will in due course. We can well remember from some years back now, obviously, when we made the major zinc discoveries in Ireland, even though the matter was in the public domain, nonetheless, our share price was hanging around the 20p mark. And then gradually, as people began to realize the significance of it, the price rose up first to 100p, then 200p, eventually reached over £7. This discovery that we have now, and the significance of it, is of course far larger than the Galmoy zinc discoveries. So hopefully in due course the market will take this on board and see the tremendous potential which we have. In the meantime, we of course are very pleased to see matters developing and the potential now actually being accomplished.
Okay, good. Well, as you say, it does sometimes take a little bit of time for the market to pick up on what is going on. I think at the moment, the double problem we have is the summer, where it usually goes quite quiet on the stock markets, but also because of what is going on, the bigger picture, there's some uncertainty, I think, as well. But ultimately, it will return. We know that mining commodity stocks are certainly been in a downturn for quite a while. So when we do come out of this, Conroy Gold keep banging the drum and are keeping on working with multiple drill rigs, and I'm sure you'll be in a good position when that does happen. Just a final thought, Richard, perhaps. You've been in this sector a long time. You've seen various swings, various cycles. You also say you were at PDAC recently. Can you perhaps give investors a sense of the mood in the sector, and bearing in mind as well, you've been through many ups and downs, presumably, in your years in this sector. So where are we right now, do you think?
Well, there are certainly, as you say, many ups and downs in the sector, but I think we're in a particularly good position now, and there was a very good mood, I must say, at PDAC. We're in a particularly good position in a number of respects. As regards gold, obviously, there is this ongoing demand for gold, and if anything, in the financial circumstances, that's going to grow further. And then for minerals generally, if even a relatively small percentage or fraction of the ambitious aims for the green economy are to be achieved, there's going to be a very major demand for copper, for nickel, for various other metals. So I think the outlook for the mineral industry and mining in general is, in fact, probably at an extremely good situation now, and very, very good prospects.
Indeed. The green shift will probably be the catalyst that really throws this sector and kicks it on when it happens. So it's just about staying there, staying in the game. But Richard Conroy, the chairman of Conroy Gold, thank you very much for your time today.
You're very welcome.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.